our Inside the Actor Studio segment and get to know him a little bit better. So we're asking all three Pinkmans the same questions, same 10 questions, and hearing how they respond. So Jeff, thank you for being here. And so I guess I'll start out. What profession other than anything involved with baseball, since you've never had a profession not involved with baseball, what would you like to attempt other than baseball?
Attempt is an interesting word. I've always been a techie guy, technology and stuff like that. So I've always wanted to be in that technological world of some way.
We see it here.
Right, we see it here in front of us with the cameras.
Let's count the iPads and the cameras in the facility right now.
And so, but, there was a time in college when I was heavily looking to become a pilot, whether flying helicopters or planes or something like that. Something in that nature, but, something that dealt with technology, I would think is in that realm. I don't know what, there's so much, so many things to think about now, and it's just so cool. So, what
would you not like to attempt?
What would I not like to attempt? A job? Would I not like to attempt? I'm very thankful that I'm not in the school system teaching. After I was a substitute teacher for 12 years. And I think that was one of the better decisions I ever made, was transitioning from teaching 30 people, 25 people at once, which is an amazing feat. My wife is a school teacher. Pat's wife is a school teacher. My sister is a school teacher. And so kudos to them. And they clearly don't get paid enough for the grief and the things that they have to go through. And they don't get recognized enough for their success. So, but that is something that I don't think I could. I've always thought, hey, it's my backup plan, but at the same time, I don't think my backup plan is something completely different.
Yeah, it's technology, right?
Yeah.
So what would you like to be your Top Gun call sign?
My Top Gun call sign. Well, this was interesting. So Pat took Pink, but at the same time, I think that's what I would have
Pat
to go.
Took Paco.
Pinkman, Pat took Paco, but Pink is what I've always kind of been known by. But my freshman year in basketball, I ran over a kid. I was driving down the court, and I was nicknamed Tank. But I would have to go with Pink. I mean, that's what I associate. I had a license plate. Maybe it would be AKA Pink, but just Pink in general that's what I live by for the most part.
What song gets you pumped up? What would be your walk up?
See, that's an interesting. I've been doing walk up songs for Owen's team. And so that changes like every week, from whether it's a Metallica song or an AC/DC song or the Aerosmith Pink song, the
entire Dude Perfect soundtrack.
The entire Dude Perfect soundtrack, gosh. But, the Sultans of Swing is not necessarily a walk-up song, but at the same time, that's the best song that when I hear and the guitar going, stuff like that, that's the song that gets the hairs on my arm kind of going up every time. That's my go-to.
What is something most people wouldn't guess about you?
Wouldn't guess about me. I would say, whether it's how good of a golfer I am or how much involved in technology that I am,
I think
we
would guess that.
Right, but nobody would know just the amount of adapters and power cables and the mobile backpack that I travel with in terms of iPads and connectors and chargers, and how ready I am to charge something
at all times.
At all times, I will never run out of battery no matter where I go. So
so when we hit the zombie apocalypse, this is your guide.
Yes, you need to follow me to be able to recharge your phone.
Right. To catch up on catch up on your shows.
Right.
Do you have any hidden talents?
Hidden talents. I ice skate really well. I would say
John's iffy about that.
I mountain bike.
Not sure.
I've mountain biked. I ice skate really well. I would love to learn to hockey stop.
Yeah,
I want to learn to hockey stop, but I rollerbladed and ice skated, a decent amount growing up. So that's one of those things that would surprise a lot of people.
Okay. What well-known person, living or dead, would you most like to meet?
That's something that with my wife being a history teacher, like we just went to Mount Vernon and be like, oh, wow, George Washington. And then we went to Monticello and George, Thomas Jefferson. And, going back to the colonial days and seeing the founding fathers and Ben Franklin and stuff like that it's really fascinating, the fact that without technology, how much their minds, they just had to sit and think, And so, but, all those, I would say, the founding fathers, I think, would have to be my answer there. It probably would change in 5 minutes, but I'll let you know.
So as of right now, 12:25 on July 15th, 2022. What TV show are you binging?
Stranger Things. Yeah. I got into it the other night, and it was like 3 a.m., and I was like, I gotta go to bed. So I've been wanting to get back to it, and so, but that's... I'm not a big horror movie guy either. So the horror movies I definitely don't like, and why I'm watching them at 2:00 in the morning before I go to bed. Not a good thing.
Horror movie though. It's more
horror for kids.
What's the bravest thing you've ever done besides watch Stranger Things?
Right, exactly. I was driving down, was it 295 in North Carolina, or 264? I forget what it is. And I witnessed a car accident. A car flipped over the median in front of me. It was like 9:00 in the morning. I was coming home, and the car swerved right, left, went down, flipped over, landed on some cars, and went over. And so, everyone was blowing past. I stopped and I ran over. Guy had just blood coming off his face, and then we ran over to the next car, and someone was climbing out. Somebody was just in the front seat, and one of the fella in the passenger seat passed away. But I was with the person in the back, trying to console them and help them out and wait for the paramedics to arrive and stuff. And so I would say that's probably it. And the passenger actually passed away on the scene. And it turned out those folks went to like Marshall High School.
Oh, wow.
So I was in the middle of North Carolina, and all of a sudden that came out. So spoke with them like a year later. They called me to kind of recreate and understand things. So,
yeah. And then last question, would you rather time travel 10 years into the future or 100 years into the past?
I'd rather go 100 years into the future.
Okay. Forging his
10 years into the past, or 10 years in the future, I don't think much is going to change. We're not going to have flying cars. We're not going to have, although we will soon. Like nothing's.
This is being recorded.
Things are,
Jeff.
Right. Inevitable, right? I was watching the Atom Project, where like 50 years down the road, like they had time travel, so that would be cool. Mm-hmm. So being a tech guy, I think 100 years into the future would be more fascinating. 100 years in the past is actually kind of cool. It's the dawn of the Depression, but the turn of the century. Wouldn't mind being a cowboy. Riding a horse.
Other profession.
Like Michael J. Fox and Back to the Future 3. But
that didn't go so well.
It didn't go so well. But hey, I learned how to ride a horse well. So, but Star Wars, that theme, the long time, galaxy far, far away, that always intrigues me. So, what's next? The next 100 years.
Well, thank you very much. We have, our Steve Jobs and Brian Boitano of the Pinkmans. So thank you for the info, and thank you all for watching.